Hello, world. This is John Pinto, your roving realtor, bon vivant, video blogger, and I am here with Ted Stephanos from HomeGuard NHD, Natural Hazard Disclosures. How are you, Ted?
I'm doing good, John. Thanks for having us today.
Excellent. And Rafael Betances, you guys busy at HomeGuard ordering roof inspections, termite inspections, home inspections?
Yes, we are. We are reaching out, and we're here to help anybody that's has any questions or just want to see how they can leverage off the home guard experience.
Excellent. So let's talk about how mold may adversely affect your property, any property. I will wax poetic with a little story. So I was in escrow on a townhouse, and the seller went out of town. And for one reason or another, there was a plumbing leak that flooded the first story, the hardwood floors, the concrete perimeter foundation, the sheetrock, where there was at least 6 inches of water through a weekend. I found out, I went through the property with the buyers. I looked at the buyers and I said, I don't care what the story is. We are going to release ourselves from this transaction and go find another house because I just didn't want them to have to deal with the possibility of mold, the implications of mold, the implications of getting insurance on a property that was potentially going to be tainted with mold. I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. So that said, we will shift to you, Ted, and tell us a little bit about that mold disclosure and what buyers should be aware of.
Right. And one thing you were mentioning about how it adversely affects the property, but it can really uh, just more importantly, how it adversely affects individuals because certain people with allergies are more susceptible to mold, and we're talking about like the black mold, and um, that can really lead to some severe health problems if it's unchecked. So the one thing is about the natural hazard report, it's never going to be an on-site report, so we're never visiting the house or the property to do any uh, on-site inspections or analysis. What we do for mold is basically take information that's out of the combined hazards booklet and put that into the NHD report. It's a boilerplate disclosure, um, basically informing the buyer and seller, anyone involved in the transaction, what to look for and where to go if you have any concerns about mold.
Okay, very good. And as you talk about the effects of mold, the adverse effects of mold on people with respiratory issues, just the other day, I was talking to Eric, your colleague at the roof termite and home inspection division of HomeGuard, and we were talking about how important it is to maintain your forced air furnace and your filters to mitigate any respiratory problems too. How do you feel about mold and a dirty filter affecting respiratory health?
Mm. Yeah, I don't know if the filters would affect that or not. Um, it's one of those. Yeah, boy, I don't know how to quite answer that question. I'm not a specialist when it comes to mold and spores and how it's in the air and if you can
Yeah.
filter things out.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I'll rescue you from this one. Over the last couple of months, people are more familiar with the term AQI, Air Quality Index. And air quality index is external. It's what the air quality index is outside your front door. But air quality index inside your house is another thing entirely. And as far as I'm concerned, making sure that you don't have any mold intrusion in the house and making sure that your forced air furnace heating system, your ductwork, and your filters are neat and clean is going to add to your healthful AQI in the house. As far as I'm concerned, you should also have some advanced air cleaners inside the house to get it coming and going. You're not dealing with things that are creating bad air, and you actually have some infrastructure that's helping you clean your air, which is in fact the whole purpose for having the mold disclosure, correct?
Yeah, that's true. And mold is everywhere too. I mean, it's inside, outside. It can be anywhere. But what you're talking about earlier with the water leaks and plumbing problems that can actually get into the wood, and that mold grows. It can grow behind the walls, and that's when it can be a severe problem. And it's not just necessarily um, people who are allergic to that and suffer from those problems, but it's also the replacement cost, because you're talking about ripping out the floors, ripping out the sheetrock and the walls, and disposing those materials. So it can lead to very costly repairs as well.
Yeah, and as I alluded to before, if you've got a house with a history of mold, you could have issues getting homeowners and fire insurance.
Yeah,
So,
definitely the homeowner's insurance, sure.
yes. So I think suffice it to say that whereas mold is not a prevailing problem in California, unless you're in a heavily shaded wooded area with bad drainage and water settling around the house and things of that nature, if it does exist, it could have the severe implications on the health of the occupants, the insurability of the property, and very expensive repair bills. Would you agree with that, Ted?
Yeah, it can definitely be an issue. Yep, definitely.
Okay.
But it is important for readers of NHD reports, because that's my area of expertise, that they're not going to get whether or not there's mold or not mold issue on the property in the home by reading an NHD report. They might have to lean on a home inspector, our HomeGuard guys, guys and gals, when they are inspecting a property. They're still not going to use that M word, the mold word. They're going to look for discolorations, and then they're going to refer that to a specialist.
Right, right. Okay. So what we have done is run up the homebuyer flagpole just to be aware of the implications of mold, the signs of mold. Don't be oblivious to mold, and it's all in alignment with educating and empowering potential home buyers in knowing what they have, and also helping homeowners and home sellers mitigate their liability by seeing it for themselves and disclosing it and making sure if it does exist, that it doesn't turn into a potential lawsuit. How would you like that for a summary there, Ted?
This is wrapped up beautifully.
Excellent. Rafael, what number can people text you at if they need more information?
Absolutely. You guys can feel free to call me or text me at 707-616-8762. Or you can email me at rbetances@homeguard.com. That's R, my last name, at homeguard.com.
Rafael Betances, HomeGuard Concierge. Do you like your new title?
I love it.
Very good. Well, thank you all for watching our video, and we will see you on the next video.